2 years ago, Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan fought a war that nobody could score the same way twice. Now, that unfinished business is about to become a full-blown rematch. Oliveira versus Tsarukyan 2, this time for the BMF title.
Arman versus Oliveira, stakes, BMF title. I love it. I don't know that you could have made yourself look bad at 155, though. Max could have either one of those spots with any one of those guys. Ilya versus Max works all day long. Patty versus Max works all day long. Max versus Gaethje. Max versus Tsarukyan, right? But now I can start doing it the other way too and tell you Patty and all the different possible options. Ilya and all the different possible options. But I wanted to bet on this one, and you want to know why, guys? Parity. UFC 300 was just yesterday. I just got put into the Hall of Fame. And I found out that night at UFC 300 was the night that they let me know, and that just happened. But as I look back, and they just had a Hall of Fame last week, and I think, again, I didn't get just put in, which was a year ago. It's been 2 years. So UFC 300 has been 2 years, and that was in April, May, June, July, and a handful of months. Interesting. Because now it's not quite as fresh. Oliveira's done a lot in between. By the way, that fight was extremely close.
The first fight was brutal. Oliveira nearly locked in a guillotine. Tsarukyan nearly finished him back. It was that close.
You're next for the title. They want you next. So have you gotten a call from the UFC? When can we see you compete there?
On Monday, I'm going to Vegas.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to have a news, so I'm going to fight soon.
That's great for the title.
Was against Tsarukyan. He lost. Charles, he lost. And I came away a fan. I got it. Even in defeat, I saw it. I saw what everybody was hyped up about. And you guys might remember that fight. It had the guillotine, which turns into a topside guillotine, and we all thought that maybe Arman was going to have to choke, and at one point in there it was sensing the anaconda, and Charles really thought he had it to the point that he gave up position to try to find the submission. It was a great fight, so I don't begrudge these two that they're going to fight again. It's just, if they're going to fight again, why? Did they have a personal grudge? Did they have unsettled business? Why? Even if it's been 2 years and a handful of months, why are we not getting parity? Why are we putting the same two guys in there again? Because it's 5 rounds. That changes everything. They're now not being asked to do the same thing. They're going to contest it under the same rule set, but essentially it is a different sport. Then you've got the title, BMF, a real belt. That qualifies, that moves, that has a lineage. I love this with the UFC. And one thing you can do, you can start and stop and nobody will complain.
5 rounds, a real belt. A completely different fight than the one they had at UFC 300. And Arman's already confirmed he wants exactly this.
I was talking to Dana White when I was at the Ultimate Fighter, and we were speaking about Arman. And we were speaking about how Arman has essentially made himself undeniable. One, because obviously he's won so many fights in a row, but his side quests, as you guys like to call it, wrestling in RAF, boxing when he can, grappling when he can. He's been so active that the UFC can't ignore that. And the UFC honestly took note of it and are kind of excited now by Arman Tsarukyan and his potential for the new fans that he has drawn in. I remember doing that Arman interview. That thing now has 900,000 views for an hour interview that Arman and I did. The biggest Daniel Cormier show that I have done to date. Now, while Charles did win the last fight, it has to be Arman. There's no way that it cannot be Arman.
Great fight, and that's why I'm flying to Vegas, and I have a date, I have a name, so we just gotta confirm on Monday, and so it's everything almost set it up.
So we have a date, we have a name, it's agreed upon, but we haven't put pen to paper yet.
Yeah, we just put down the paper on Monday, and that's it. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it's
gonna be a good fight, exciting fight, and the best place to fight for me.
Oh, okay, a little bit of a tease, because there's a lot of people are thinking this is going to be you and Oliveira for the BMF belt. Obviously, I've been saying forever you should be fighting for the UFC belt. You and Gaethje would be an incredible fight. Gaethje seems somewhat interested in that matchup. We don't even know if he's going to fight again. So, yeah, so sometime this year in a place you like to fight.
Yeah, This year, 2 fights, 2 belts.
He didn't shut it down. He leaned into it. And when you break down what actually happened in round 1 of Oliveira versus Tsarukyan, it's easy to see why this rematch makes so much sense.
Okay, so if I were to ask what's next, what's more likely next, a BMF title defense or a UFC title shot, you would say?
E se eu perguntasse pra você entre uma defesa do cinturão BMF ou buscar o cinturão dos leves, o que você acha que vem primeiro pra você?
Com certeza, buscar o cinturão. Estou em busca desse cinturão. Como eu falei, vamos unificar tudo. O campeão leva tudo.
For sure. I want that belt. I need that. Let's unify the belts. The champion takes everything. How about that?
So let's see how it's play out next weekend, and then let's see how it's play out BMF title.
Yep.
But I'm here for the backup as well.
Yeah.
So if they call, you see like Amanda Nunes and versus Harrison. Harrison got injured, but if they need, I can fight with Amanda as well.
Now
155, please.
So then, if so, you're doing all these competitions. You're not. Go ahead.
Stay in shape.
You're staying in shape.
Yeah.
But before we started training, you worked out. You did the airdyne for 30 minutes. But when you look at the diet that you have, right, like all the McDonald's, all the pizza, 15 desserts, right?
Yeah.
Does that ever hurt your stomach, or are you just like, I'm gonna burn it off?
After that, I go to the gym and train. But
After-
I don't do that every day, right?
Yeah.
Maybe once a month, right? Like twice a month. But when I'm in camp, I don't do that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, even if I'm in camp, I eat fish, and people like it. I eat steaks, people like it. But when I'm out of camp, I eat sometimes junk food.
Arman was in real trouble early. Oliveira's jiu-jitsu almost ended it. Now, fast forward to today. Oliveira's holding the BMF belt. Tsarukyan is still the top contender nobody's given a title shot to. And the case for running it back is getting louder.
This absolutely should be the next fight because we have Charles Oliveira, very, I don't want to say bad, but just not a fan-friendly BMF title fight performance against Max Holloway. All of that aside, he is a beloved fighter with a huge fan base, massive star, has the BMF belt, and he's inactive since his win over Max Holloway in March, okay? So are we holding him out until mid-next year for a title fight? I don't think so. And Arman, for example, like let's look at Charles and Arman's run so far. Charles lost to Topuria in June, came back in October, came back in March. Charles, if you look at this, overall likes to fight every 6 or so months. I know that he's had a couple times where he's taken close to a year off, but he likes to fight every 6 or 7 months. He's pretty active, whereas Arman, very inactive. I mean, we saw him once in 24, once in 25, and we don't have any Arman Tsarukyan news in 2026. And you also got to keep in mind, right here in between the Charles Oliveira fight and the Dan Hooker fight, we had the pullout where he missed weight against Islam Makhachev. So Arman, even though he has that win over Dan Hooker and has turned himself into a massive star, I don't think he is next for Ilya just based on what the UFC thinks of him.
A beloved champion, a hungry contender. Both can't afford to sit still.
Charles and Arman Tsarukyan are going to need to take a fight. They can't sit out until next year. They just can't. And so that's why we need to have Charles versus Arman 2 as a, honestly, BMF title fight. This could be Madison Square Garden co-main event to Ilya versus BSD, to Ilya versus Conor, to Conor versus Makhachev, to Aspinall versus Pereira. We'll make a separate video about Aspinall though, because Eddie Hearn's calling for his release. And that might mean we see Tom Aspinall get released and Ciryl Gane versus Alex Pereira is for the undisputed heavyweight belt. We'll see what happens. But tell me you wouldn't want to see this fight again. This was such a fun fight. Charles almost subbed him in round 1, almost subbed him in round 3. It was, I mean, this was the main card opener of UFC 300. How sick is that? And they put Bo Nickel in front of this. Crazy.
Unfinished business, a real belt. 2 of the best in the world, running it back. If UFC 331 delivers Oliveira versus Tsarukyan 2, it settles everything. For good. Who's your winner this time? Drop it in the comments.